This conference will now be recorded.
Hey, thanks for waiting. Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Okay. So we are talking about service catalogs, right? So in the service catalog, what we did, we created a service catalog, we created a categories, we created main items, and then we created a variable there, right? So that's one catalog item that we built. If you look at the service catalog here, it's catalog. Okay, so we have a go to maintain items, maintain catalog here. In the maintain catalog, if you go here, we have a banking catalog that have been created. In the banking catalog, right? So we have this added image, and we went to catalog item. Here we created a category called Access Bank, and within the Access Bank, we have a new catalog item that has been built, which is new bank account creation. In the new bank account creation, we created a couple of fields, couple of variables, right? If you see this, the trade, you'll see a couple of fields here, different type of fields that have been created, right? So this is one thing, right? So how can I, this is, what is this? This is a variable set. I've created a variable set, and in the variable set, I have added a couple of variables. So how did I do that? Come down in the related list, you'll have a variable set, open the variable set. And here you will see the variable set. In that we have multiple fields that we added, right? So let's see, how do I add another catalog item now? So simply go to maintain item, create an item, create new, internet banking. Okay, catalog, banking catalog is the one which this requires, and catalog category, which category? It should be part of Axis Bank. Perfect, right? And come down, what is this? Enable internet banking. Okay, and process engine is place we actually define the workflows here. And if you go to picture, you have multiple pictures. We know the difference between icon and picture. And you have a pricing here, that it's a price include that we can do that, and portal settings. Interviewer will ask you, how can I hide add to cart? How can I hide quantity? How can I hide delivery time? Hide add to wish list, hide attachments, mandatory attachments, simple, right? So you can just tick mark it, something like this. So this is what, if you wanted to do a customization, but there are templates that has been built here, right? For request method order, right? So automatically add to cart and quantity will get disabled. Submit, automatically add to cart, quantity, delivery time, mandate, and it become a mandatory attachment. Order, right? Nothing, right? It is mandatory attachment is a thing. So you can make things like this, right? So now save. Go to variables and variable sets here, right? So to enable internet banking logically, right? Normal real-time set, normal scenarios. To enable internet banking, so what is the primary thing that you require? You need a account number, right? So let's create a variable called account number. Earlier we create a variable set, now we create a variable. Create new. question. Account number and show help. Show help is something that you will have the information here, right? Please enter account number. Okay. Type of specification, it's kind of a string that we require, a single line text, and everything is done. It's a mandatory. Submit. All right. So I've created a one variable, and now rest of the things I will add it from a variable set. I already created a variable set as part of a new bank account creation, right? So that variable set I'm going to add it now, right? Go to variable set, edit, bank from variable set. Save. And save it. Right? Come down. Now if you can try it, you will see. Account number, more information. There is a help text that we gave, right? So please enter account number, right? And after the account number and account holder address, username, which city, account country, and then you hit a order now. So basically, if I hit order now, what happens? Okay, I need some number, some address, right? Order now. Right? REQ is created, and if you see the workflow, this is the default workflow that have been given to anybody. Because so always remember, if there is no workflow, if you didn't add any kind of workflow, by default the execution plan default will be updated. In the background, this item will use execution plan default. In the background, this item will do execution plan if no workflow attached to the item. By default, you will see execution plan default will get updated. Then default get updated. Will get updated. Important, take it out of it. Now this is, we'll move to the workflows in a moment, right? So this is basically you created just a workflow. I mean, you created items, category, catalog, and everything. But how do you make it available to the end user? How you're making it available to the end user is simple. What you will do here is go to service catalog. Go to catalogs. Sorry, right? And you see a plus icon here. Click on plus. Add your item, right? So this is a layout, right? Layout. Add here, right? Click on yes, and you need to add a category. Again, plus icon. What is your category? Axis Bank. Come on, add it. Perfect. Okay. Under the Axis Bank, then what you have? You have internet banking and new bank account creation. If you click on internet banking, it initially asks for the account number. If you create a new bank account creation, it will be for the new bank account creation. Right? This is how I'm making it available to the end user. So simply persons will go to the catalog, and with the catalog he will go at here and he will go to the category and all. Now, see currently what is happening here is for each type of request we are creating one specific item here. For example, if you wanted to create a new bank account creation, there is an item. Internet banking, there is an item. So you need to go back and select right item and do it. Go back, select right item, do it. So the requirement would be right, okay, create one single item and give option to end user. End user to choose what he needs. What are they? Internet banking. He can choose whether it's internet banking, password change, or new bank account, whatever. Right? Give options to him. So if you select internet banking, he should be redirected to the internet banking item. Or it's a new bank account, he should be redirected to the new bank. Or password change, I should be redirected to the password change. Right? So it's a one item. So within the item you will give a flexibility to end user what he needs. Based on that, he will be redirected to multiple items. How we can do? Okay. How we can do this? We have a concept called order dates. Okay. Using order guide, you can do this. Okay. How can I do that? Simply straight away go to order guides. Click on new, create a new order guide, right? Axis Bank order guide, catalog, banking catalog, right? And custom variables, you will see what it is in a moment, right? And which category it is for. This is an Axis Bank category. And two-step, you will see in a moment, right? So Axis Bank order, right? And if you wanted to add a picture, you can do that. And hide to cart, if you wanted to do that, you can do that. Submit. So now I need to give option to end user what he need, right? So I'm going to create a new variable. What is the variable I'm going to select? I'll give a choice. Select box option. Include what you need. Select what you need, right? So let's see now. Click on new. Select work. Okay. It's a mandatory field. Question. Please select your option. Right. So select save. Question choices. What is the question choices here is new bank account and what it is internet bank. Internet bank. 10, 20, and 100 is one order and 200 left. Okay. So now update it. Right. Now you see this, we have options, right? So what, please select your option, right? So when internet banking is selected, the person need to be redirected to internet banking. And when we new bank account created and person need to be redirected to the new bank account, right? So how do I do that is, see this rule base, go to rule base. In the rule base, okay, click on new. Okay. And so Now, if please select your option is, okay, my bad, it should never be like this. We always should have add none, right? Otherwise it will be not default. How can I add none? That we know. How can I add none to the choices? You select include none. Include none. Right? Right? So now update. Questions. This one is right. I'll just click on here. Okay, now select the rule base here. Right? What is the rule base? Click on new. What is the rule base? If please select your option is selected as new bank account, right? Include item called new bank account creation. Submit. One second. This internet banking has been disabled. Okay, now select. Create another rule base here. Okay, so include new bank account. Update. Okay, create one more rule base. If please select your option is selected as internet banking and include internet banking. Submit. Now if you update it, go to Axis Bank Auto Guide, hit on right. See, it is asking please select your option. If I select internet banking, new banking account creation, choose options, it will be taking me to the account holder name and all the stuff, right? Which is a new bank account creation item. So if I describe needs again, it will take me to the next level. So internet banking, I select, choose option, right? It is asking me the account number here, right? So it is like, adding one item. So if you see this, I'll go to the banking catalog here straight away. Service catalog, banking catalog, Axis Bank. Come down. See, I have an Axis Bank order guide here. Open this. Select what you need. Bank information. Oh, I got it to internet banking. Simply internet banking. Choose option. Right. So it's like, if this question will be more often like, how it is like, how can I add multiple items into one item? Right? Use order guides. You can use order guide and one item you can select here. Based on your selection, you will be redirected to the multiple item. Okay. So that's about the order guide. Any questions? Okay. So other thing is record producer. Okay, what is the record producer? Record producer is one type of catalog item. Right? One type of catalog item. Using a record producer, we can create record. We can create records into target table. The best example would be, if you see it previously, we have written a jelly script. Right? We have written two types of jelly scripts, right? So one is querying, another one is a creation of record. So how did we do that? We created a page. We have designed a page. In the page, we have created fields, and we create a button called submit. Somebody enter a submit button, then automatically a user record will be created in the employee information table. Correct. So that's by designing a page using a GUI page. Now, if you see this is what it's with the UI user interface. Without you writing a code, how can you achieve such kind of this thing? That's record producer. Like you can using a record producer. What does that mean? Using a record producer, you can submit records. Okay, you can create records there. You can create records. How do I do that? Simply go here. For example, my target table will be student create. How many fields we have? Lot many, right? So we will choose a couple of other fields, right? For example, student name we will choose. Student father name we will choose. Okay. See now. So what we'll do? Employee information. Okay, we'll see this, right? So now go to record producer. New. Give it a name. Employee creation. Okay. Table name. Which table it needs to be created? It needs to be created in employee information. Obviously. Employee information. Right? Employee creation. Employee creation. Right? Accessibility. Which catalog it needs to be? As of now, I'm keeping it in banking catalog. Usually, we could create a separate catalog for it. And category, I'm keeping it in Axis Bank only, just for the testing purpose. Right? And portal settings. We wanted to hide attachments, mandatory attachment, that we can do what it will contain. Now save it. So as part of this particular page, right, users require fields to be created. Right? Users require fields. So we need to create field. We are giving a front end page to the users now, right? So we need users need to see the fields, and there we users will select the fields, right? So now what am I going to do? Create a variable. Okay, so the first variable will be reference, right? And this is the employee name, right? And this will refer to, it's a reference field, so automatically I will return it to the system. Okay, this user. Now see that if you go up a little bit, so here we enter the first name and type of specification, we enter into the which table it is belong. Now, so in Jelly, we have mapped the fields, right? So u underscore string one is equal to first, u underscore string two is equal to last, u underscore string three is equal to email something. Similarly, here I'm going to do, I don't need to write a script. I'll just go up. You see map to field, hit on it, right? So it will ask me here, this is the field that you need to select. So what is the name? Employee name. Perfect. And so this employee name is matching with this employee name, right? It's a mandatory field. Perfect. Now submit. One field is created. Come down. Okay. Another field which create another field, variables. Map to field. It's a single line text and it's going to be first name. First name and it's a mandatory field. Submit. Email. Mandatory. Like you can create a number of fields. So simply just we can go ahead and one more field I create and just shove it off. All right. So now this is done, right? So let's try it. First name, email address, employee name, last name. Why this is coming like this? Because we didn't give an order, it seems, right? Let's go ahead and define the order. Define an order. First name, email address, last name. So now if you see this employee creation, right? Some Sachin Tendulkar at gmail.com, right? Unemployed into something, some such. Submit, right? So details got updated here, right? Now the question here is most of the clients ask us to, when you submit a record, I don't want it to go to the record. I don't want people to go to the record because there is the purpose of record producer is to just submit a record, correct? Just submit a record, and I don't want the people whoever submitted the record, I don't want him to go ahead and give the view on the page on the backend table. So if you are giving that flexibility, if you are redirecting to him or he or she, that we are redirecting to her backend table, the whole purpose is gone. Most of the times people ask us to do not redirect user to the backend table, restricted, right? I want the redirection to be some home page or something, right? So in that case, there are two ways of doing redirect, changing the redirection. So one thing is, if you see the redirect to generated task record, change it to catalog homepage. This will work in the same way, right? Now, submit. Now it will take to the catalog homepage, right? Or we can also do a code. And how can we write a code? Right? So when you're writing a code, just producer dot, your code would be producer dot redirect. Use this, right? Come down in the script, right? Copy this in producer dot redirect to home dot do, right? How do you do this one? For just copy paste. That's it. Producer dot redirect to home dot do. Save, right? Even though you keep it as generated task record, here you keep it as generated task record, it will always go there. So let's see. Let's test it. See, home dot do. Where is it going? The home page, right? So this is how we can redirect to keep the redirection. Record producer is very straightforward and simple stuff. Any questions? Is anybody there? Manu, Soumya, Santosh. Any questions? Manu, Santosh, Soumya.
No questions, Vijay.
All right. Yeah. So let's talk about the workflows now, right? So the other important thing is the workflow. The workflow will be straightforward. So it's like, we always often see like, if you're already working, right? So if you submitted something, the automatically it will go to somebody and somebody will receive an email. Somebody approved and somebody will receive an email. Somebody approved, then it will go to somewhere, and somewhere some take some action, then it will go to somewhere, right? How is this happening? Workflow is collection of activities. Okay, workflow is collection of activities, right? Using activities, we will define actions. in workflow. Okay. Now, use case here is the bank account, new bank account request is created. Right? So they say Mr. John has created a new bank account. So it does not mean that, oh, John has created a request, so I have to create a bank account. It's not something like that, right? So if somebody will verify whether he's a legitimate person or not, and somebody else will verify. And when both the persons will verify, then it will go to some team, they will create a request, and somebody will dispatch it. If somebody is rejected the approval, then what happens? There's a bunch of workflow that will happen, right? So what is the workflow here? So when the new bank account request initiated, what happened? I want a group to be reviewed. A group to review. Okay. Then what happened? The manager to review. Right? Manager to review. Then what happened? Approved. Then what happened? Our email notification should go. Email notification should go. Then what happened? It should create a task. Then what happened? A task should be assigned to a right team. Right team, right? So then what happened? Notification to a team. Then what happened? A node team will create a bank account. Then user notification, email notification. Then close. Okay. So out of all these things, if this case is all together, if everything approved, if everything reject, if this is rejected here, or this is rejected here, then what happens? Right? So these are all activities. These are all activities. Using these activities, using our out of the box activities, we will define these workflow. Right? How do we do that? Let's go. Go to workflow editor. Right? Create a new workflow. These are all okay. So before we go into the new workflow, let me tell you what this, right? These are all existing workflows. Okay, they're all existing workflow. You can create a new workflow here, or you can create a new workflow here. Okay, so new workflow. So banking workflow. Just give it a name. Always remember, if you're writing a workflow in the catalog, right, you always need to write SC underscore REQ underscore item. This is the table that you need to write. Item table. Your item table, because you are defining your workflow on the item only, right? So SC underscore REQ underscore item is your table where you need to write the item. If it is on the incident, you will write mention incident, employee information, student information. Right? But when it comes to service catalog, right? In the service catalog, you will mention here. Okay? Banking workflow. So which table? SC underscore REQ item. Okay? Submit. When submitted, see what happens. This is begin and this is the end, right? So remove this. This is end. So we will define activities between the begin and end. Yeah, between the begin and end, we are going to define activities. So what is your workflows? Your activities will be defined in the core. If you click on core, there's a bunch of activities that will be there. A lot of activities, right? So we will discuss a very important thing which we use daily and day out. Right? Approvals is something that we use very regularly, right? So what is the use case? A group to review here, right? So when in the service SC underscore requested item, there is a request created, the item created. What happens? I want it to be go to approval group. Hold it and drag it and drop it here. Right? Service desk review. Anything. Right? Stage, what stage is means step. What step it is? Is it waiting for approval, or it is approved, or waiting for the fulfillment, waiting for the user response, or it is rejected? What is the stage, right? That stage we will define here. See, click on this, waiting for approval, right? So condition, if you wanted to give any condition, you can give the condition. Otherwise, you will give the groups. Which group need to review? We discussed something like, iOS team, right? So submit. Now you see this is the approval group, right? So I will call this from here, right? If it request is created, begin, and it go to the approval group. Then let's assume it is approved. Then what it says, a manager to review. Now if the group approval is done, then I'm going to add a manager to review. So approval user, individual user, drag or drop it, right? Request a manager to review. What stage? It's still in waiting approval only, right? Right? Who is going to approve it? I can't give this as Eldon search or something. Right? This is wrong because every time Eldon search cannot be the approver, right? So what I will do, I will remove it and I'll pass the value dynamically, like we did it in the notifications, right? I click on the tree. Opened by manager, user manager, whoever opened by his manager, right? So now submit, right? Or you can give it as for the testing purpose. You can give the, I will give them this one because this is a test instance, right? Everybody can't be assigned with the manager. So I'll give this. Right. See now, begin here, and if it is approved, here. If it is rejected, that's a different story. We will talk in a moment. Correct. So now it is approved. Let's say even user manager is also approved. Then approval action. What is the action? We are converting. We are marking this as a approved. Request approved. Request approved. Mark task as approved. Submit. Okay. Mark task is approved. When it is approved, I want a notification to be generated. Right? Notification to whom? Obviously the mail, important. I mean, the whoever opened by, right? So click on this notification. Notifications. Right? User email. Right? Come down. Stages. What? Request approved. Who will receive the email? Whoever opened by. Whoever it is opened by. Right? And subject, your request was approved. We know how to define emails. Add the fields if you want. And notification is delivered to end user. Right? So one notification is end to user, and what I will do, I will also send another notification to. No, I will not send. So what I will do is, a request is approved, then I will create an item. Right? What is the item? So now come here. People will not work on the request item. Right? People will work on a task. Right? Create task. Create task. Okay. So now task created. Right? Request approved. Stage is what? It is still request approved. Here we will define what is the priority of this. It is a high critical. Okay. And field, which team it needs to be assigned. It needs to be assigned to some help desk. Or assigned to also we can define, but I'm not going to define here. Short description, please create new bank account for user. Hit submit. A new task is created. When the new task is created, here, when the new task is created, that's when I will send another notification. How can I send a notification? Just copy this. Which to whom this email will go now? This email will go to some group, somebody. You can select it, right? Update. Okay. So this email go to users. This email go to whoever assigned, right? Whoever assigned. Now you can also define here instead of getting it less, right? Close this off. Assigned. Whoever it is assigned to, he will receive an email, right? So user email now assigned to team, right? The person will get alerted. I have assigned a task. Okay. Now, so this is done. Approved. Request approved. Create a task. This task is assigned to somebody. Now there is a condition called wait for condition. Right? So there is a condition called wait for condition. What is this wait for condition will do? It will wait until the status is marked as closed. Right? So wait till closed. Right? Wait till closed. It is in wait. Fulfillment. Right? Status. State is closed complete. It will wait until the state this answer become true. Right? So once it is true, right? Once it is true, once it is closed, then what happen? It will go to the end. Right? So I mean, if it is assigned to Vijay, Vijay need to mark this as closed complete. So this wait for condition will wait until this person marked as status of the task is closed complete. Once it is closed complete, then it will go to end. What is if? If always have two conditions. If yes, what happened? No, what happened? I'll show you this. See, if yes, what? If no, what? Right? And what is switch? Switch is something, you will see this, right? Switch is something, it will go multiple ways, right? Let me show you. The best example of switch would be field priority. Where is priority? See now. See, this is a switch. If none, what happened? If one have what happened? Two, what happened? Three, what happened? Four, what happened? Five, what happened? That we will define, right? That's a switch. Okay. And wait for condition that we discussed. And utilities, we have a join and branch. Branch is one to many, join is many to one, right? So one to many. From this, if I'm connecting to multiple items, multiple, okay. This is one activity. From one activity, I am connecting it to multiple item. This will be a, sorry, this will be a join. Okay. Or from multiple items, from multiple activities, I'm connecting it to one item, one activity, then this will be a branch. That's the difference between join and branch. One to many, many to one. One to many, many to one. Okay. And log, this is fine. We don't use this timer. Timer is one thing that we will talk about, right? Timer is something, if you already worked on ITSM, the best use case of a timer would be an incident is created. Look at the incident life cycle. right? The incident is created. Incident is created, then people worked on it. Issue is fixed. Then they inform the user, issue is fixed, right? So now what it see, if the user says the issue is not fixed, then you always have a window to reopen that particular incident within the 5 days of period, right? Within the 5 days of period. So incident will be resolved, but it will not, it can be reopened within the 5 days, right? So after the 5 days, it will be marked as closed automatically. It will be marked as closed automatically. So once it is closed, you cannot reopen it, right? So this kind of activity will be performed using a timer, right? 5 days, right? And then, for example, I'm giving it as 5 days. Right now, I'm setting up the status, right? So task in the no, not in the task, in the utilities, we have an option set values. Set the values to what? State to state to closed complete, right? Done. So now what happened? It will wait till the time is completed. The 4 days will be completed. Once it is completed, then it will be storage and the event market is end, right? So something like this. So you will come from this, from here, here. So not sorry, right? So from after the 4 days, it will come here and it will go here. Right? So this is one, right? So other one is the request is approved. Let me save this here. This is highlighted. Okay. So now this is all the case just because the situation when it is approved. What if it is rejected? Right? If it is rejected, what happens? So then you need to define the workflows again, separate workflow, right? How it is something like you will send a notification. I'll just copy this. Right? And whoever it is assigned to, it will go to open by, right? If it is rejected, notification will go to opened by, and we will change the approval action to mark task as rejected. Rejected stage is what? Request cancelled, right? From here, and it will go to you can directly go to timer, fine, or you can directly go to end, whichever the way you feel comfortable, right? If it is rejected here, that is fine. What if it is rejected here? Again, same thing. You can, right? If it is rejected here, also notification goes. If it is rejected here, also notification goes, and request will be marked as cancelled, and it will go to the timer, wait for 4 days, and then it will go to, right? So this is how you define the workflow, right? So one thing, once you define the workflow, it is easy, right? Just setting up the work process. Fine. There is one thing that you importantly need to remember here is you always need to mark your workflow as published. If you don't mark your workflow as published, what happens? If you don't mark your workflow as published, what happens? It will execute only for you. It will not execute globally, right? If the workflow is created by you, it will execute for you if you don't publish it. But I'm within the same team member, I cannot execute, I cannot see the execution. This won't execute for me, right? So all you need to do, you need to publish this, right? So once you publish, you cannot edit anything. Everything go to read only. everything go to right. So then Vijay, how can I edit this? And I know there is a one more activity that I wanted to add. Where can I add? Then you click on this and set checkout. Right now you can edit this. Now you can edit this. Right. So publish. Okay. Now everything is done. It is always important to down the validate your workflows if there is any errors. All infos, all infos, all infos. Perfect. No errors. Fair enough. Now, so you have defined your workflow. Did you add this workflow to the catalog item? No, right? So now let's go maintain catalog, banking catalog, right? And what is your item? Let's do it for the internet banking. New bank account creation. Right? Process engine, workflow, banking, workflow. See, the default will is gone, right? So now save, maintain catalog, right? So now I'll strictly go to service catalog, simply catalog, banking catalog, Axis Bank. Then I will select whatever new bank account creation, fill the fields. I don't know. Waiting for approval. Who needs to approve? Somebody, Adela and all. Then it will go to the request approval. Then what is going to fulfillment, right? Let's see. REQ. A request will have an RATM. RATM. RATM will have our workflow. Now RATM go to workflow, waiting for approval. Right? Let's see. You can always see the show workflow here. If you click on the show workflow, you will see what is your workflow looks like. Right? See, begin, approval group, user workflow, approval action, notification, rejected, all the stuff. Right? So now we see it is waiting for approval. Right? Now go ahead and approval for somebody. I'll approve. I'll approve on somebody's behalf. Save. Still waiting for approval. See which approval it is waiting for, right? Savna, she's a manager, right? So you can always see, right? Manager approval. Service desk approval is done. Waiting for the user approval, manager approval. Approved. Save. Right now it is request approved because you see this request is approved now, right? So catalog task must have been created. Let's see whether task is created or not. Come down. Okay. let's come from the beginning. Huh? Approved. Show workflow. Let's see. We should move to the next. Perfect. Now change Savna. Savna should be doing it. Approved. Save. Show workflow. A catalog test. Oh, condition. Oh, what happened? We didn't give the relation to it. Tagging workflow, publish, checkout. Mm, yeah. From here, it will be here. Then it's perfect. Publish. Catalog tasks. Let's see. Catalog task is created. And press the sign, please create a new bank account. Right? So then you mark you work on it, then you close it. It's complete. Done task. Right? So that's how we set up the workflows. Any questions, Santosh?
No, Vijay, a bit above the head these days. These things taking time.
No problem. Practice, huh? Just practice, practice.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay then. So we
yeah.
left with
Thank you.
integration. We will
Yeah.
be doing tomorrow, day after tomorrow. So then we will complete the course.
Tomorrow we don't have class.
No, no, we have.
We have, right? Okay, okay, right.
Okay. Chalo, take care. Bye.
Thank you, Vijay.